Welcome to this month's Market Trends Report, where we break down the current status of where we are in the markets today, not only locally here in the Colorado Front Range, but also where we are on a national level also. So let's just sort of dive into the numbers and take a look at how things are affecting you. So when we look at where the current market is today, we want to talk about a few different myths that are currently being spread. One, foreclosures are up. Yes, but not the 100% that's on the news that you're hearing. They're going back, looking at the last 2 years, yes, it's up significantly. But when we go back and look at normal pre-pandemic numbers, 2020 and back, they're not. We're actually at record lows. Second myth, Wall Street's buying every home in America. Not true. If you actually look at these numbers, the majority of investment properties being purchased today are by mom and pops owning 1 to 9 properties, which actually equals up to about 20% of the total purchases made in the U.S. currently. Now, what's interesting is based on the recent survey, 32% of the landlords that are out there are actually considering selling their properties within the next 2 years while values are up at a peak, because they're worried or concerned that maybe values are going to go flat, maybe values are going to maybe go down. But most importantly, their biggest concern is that there's a large boom in new construction apartment buildings, and there's a threat of will rents lower, or will you have to compete with these apartment complexes for the same tenant, and them offering more incentives and lowering rents as well, competing for that tenant. Now, what that means is we will start to see new inventory come onto the marketplace. For the first time in years, we've actually seen inventory start to increase in midsummer, and that's actually expected to continue as we go into fall and also in fourth quarter. Now, the next question is, who's going to be buying when rates are at a record high in that 7.5–8%? Our recent survey shows 1 out of 4 homeowners said high interest rates wouldn't impact their decision to sell their home. Now, of those homeowners, 43% said that they wouldn't even need a mortgage, meaning they'd be a cash buyer. Homeowners are sitting on tons of equity. Over the last 5 years, our prices here in the Colorado Front Range have actually went up over 51%, which is a significant number. Now, 38% of homeowners own their home free and clear, sitting on a lot of equity. Over 30% have 50% or greater in equity. So the average U.S. homeowner currently is sitting on about $290,000 in average equity in their home. Of that, you look at 77% of all sellers are actually empty nesters. Now, this slide shows the percentage of grandparents that are actually moving to be closer to their kids, but most importantly, their grandkids. And that distance is actually greater than 100 miles, moving from where they currently lived, getting closer. Now, 21% of all sellers say that the reason that they sold in the last year was because they wanted to be close to their family, their kids, their grandkids, and so forth. So for those reports that believe home values are going down, this recent report shows home values are actually maintaining with some slight growth. Now, here's a look back at over the last 49-year average, showing the monthly price movement. Now, there's always going to be that bell curve in the market, and these are just seasonal peaks in the seasonality in our markets and sales, where you get little price bumps here, and then it goes flat. Here in the Front Range, our sales prices peak usually in July. Same with sales volume, usually peaks in July. We anticipate that that's going to continue to grow when it comes to having little peaks in the values, and then going flat and then peaks. So you have the ebb and flow of values, but still looking at probably on average for the next 12 to 18 months about a 1% appreciation. So again, expecting that value is going to stay rather flat. Now, looking forward, here's what's being forecasted for the next 5 years at a national level. And this is averaging out around 3 to 4% increases. Again, we believe that we're going to be fairly flat from now into probably second quarter. Then we're going to see some bumps, and then as we go into the election, we believe we're going to go flat again. And then from that point, they're predicting 3 to 4%, but there's just so many unknowns out there. So again, just a lot of challenges. The last month, as we dive into our local numbers here in the Front Range, in Larimer County, 362 homes sold in Larimer County with an average sales price of $687,000, average days on market of 60. Now, currently there's 936 homes currently for sale. 81 days worth of inventory, and 452 new listings for the month of September. Now, in Will County, 384 homes sold last month with an average sales price of $545,000 and average of 54 days on market. Now, 452 new listings in the month of September with 69 days worth of inventory and 925 available listings currently. 231 homes sold in Boulder County last month with an average sales price of $1,019,000 and 51 days on market. Now, currently 733 homes on the market with 391 new listings last month and 99 days worth of inventory. So if you're curious how today's market has affected the value of your home, let us provide you with an updated equity assessment. Just shoot me an email as I noted below, and that will give you a snapshot of where you are in your equity, whether you're thinking of buying, you're thinking of selling, maybe you want to grow your investment portfolio. There's a percentage of our clients that are also looking at passing on generational wealth. They're looking at their kids, their grandkids, going, how can I help them get started and grow in their real estate portfolio and get their first home? So if you're curious of how that works, what your options are, just shoot me an email. We'd be happy to talk to you and share with you what different options are available. As we always say, when experience matters is when you call the Kevin Schumacher Team.